And I'm so excited because at least this time we can now be more connected to many people about their Feng Shui.
Diba, of course, love is a choice. So, syempre, since we're both part of the showbiz industry, importante para sa amin na hindi makinig sa ibang tao. And kasi, syempre, kung makikinig ka sa bawat opinion ng mga ibang tao, makikinig ka sa mga sasabihin nila, mas lalong magkakaroon ng misunderstandings sa isang relationship. It's more of like we choose to listen to each other.
Me as an individual, as a unique person, I feel that you are your own icon. You know, you have to have your own personality, shine in whatever.
You have to take control of your destiny. Wag mong aantayin na may magandang trabahong dumating sa'yo. Go for it. If you think you can do it, go after it. You know, you have to take charge of your destiny because it is your life. And ambition ka sa buhay, run after your dreams, chase your dreams, and it will happen.
Kasi kahit na napakaswerte natin, if we don't do the work, it will never happen. Pagdating ng araw, ipapakita namin sa buong mundo na kaming mga Filipina, we are good people. That is just a stepping stone for us to achieve what we want because of love for our family.
Nakaka-in-love.
Nakaka-in-love. Alam mo talaga, totoo yan, Marites. When you're traveling, just the two of you, you feel young. Yung parang it's just yesterday. You know, we've been married for 17 years, pero pag nagbabiyahe kami, it's like we're dalaga binata na, kaya nga, age is just a number because the heart never grows old.
I realized that sex therapy was a very narrow, limited field. And to really help and understand the person, you really have to take clinical psychology. The greatest sex organ is the one between your ears, di ba? Not between your legs. So that is why I decided to get a PhD in psychology and clinical psych.
Making the right choices in my career has led me to the leadership role that I am at now.
The word is channeling your pain into positivity. You have to. Because what's the point? We're here for a very limited time in this life and we've got to make the most of it. And this year more than ever should have shown how important it is for us to push forward, for us to be smiling, for us to be happy. If you don't want to do something, change it. If you don't want to be somewhere, move. Do whatever you can to be happy because this is it. You can't come back and do it again.
During my college days, then I started buying cheap makeup, and then I started seeing people paying. Like I could actually earn from it. So like, oh my God, I could really earn from by doing the thing that I love doing.
Because for me, it's about educating ourselves because we are in two different generations. But at the end, we will embrace and kiss and say, I love you.
I always feel that being a woman is an advantage because you can charm your way, di ba, sister?
Yeah.
If you're smart, you can do many things, no? Pretty and smart. Wow, you can do so many things.
I want to make children happy. That is one of the most important purpose that I had. So I said, I had to teach children how to play with it.
If you just live one way forever and you don't pivot, and you don't move, you will never grow. You will just be idle. And if you are idle, then how will you progress, diba?
Changing the habits to keep your energy level balanced and take the advantage to take care of yourself, pamper yourself with shea butter. You know, it was something that I was doing a lot.
Keep dreaming about the Philippines because when you wake up and when you do make good of your travel to the Philippines, we assure you of the same promise that it will be more fun and safer Philippines which you will visit.
Marketing is to build awareness. Branding is tell people who you are. Find your target markets, where they are, where they gather, and what's their lifestyle. So never be scared by your difficulty.
Kayo pa rin ang mag-decide kung gusto nyo maging masaya, maging malungkot. Tanggalin na yung lungkot, di ba? Tanggalin yung problema, doon ka lang sa happiness. Yun palagi ang pipiliin mo, happiness.
I want you to know that it's a hard job. So, hindi lang yan pang glamour. I think you have to be intelligent to be an actor so you can understand the character that you will do and what the director will tell you.
For me, it was all about care. I care about people. I care enough to want them to do really well. And it was that moment where I realized that I want to coach. I want to help others through coaching.
It's not always about just the work. It's about holistic wellness, right?
That's right.
It's about having a balance of, really enjoying life.
Today is Monday, and we are here again for another episode of Fun, Fortune, and Feng Shui. So thank you so much for joining me today and our very special guest. And to those of you mga kaibigan who has not been able to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do. Marites Allen on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Now, to talk to you about my very special guest, anyone who fell in love in the 80s or in the 90s would have a favorite song written or performed by our very special guest. She is a Filipina recording and performing artist, songwriter, and a former model, and of course, an award-winning artist. She is a very important part of the original Filipino music. We call it the OPM, considered the golden age of the Philippine music industry. She is currently celebrating her 35th anniversary as a musical icon, and here to tell us about her passion and to inspire others is the very beautiful, the very talented, and my very, very dearest new friend, Miss Joanne Lorenzana. Hello, Joanne. Welcome.
Hello. I'm so excited. I know I've been waiting for this, and it's finally it's here. And I want to greet all your viewers, all your listeners in beautiful London. I have not visited there yet. One day, hello to all of you. I'm just at your intro. Nakakatuwa naman yung mga guests mo and everything. Yeah, it's
well, alam mo, I mean, just like you, I'm just following your footsteps. Sometimes you just have to do things, even if it's pandemic, there are many things that we can do, right?
Yes.
And a lot of these things can actually be done and, at the comforts of our home.
Yes.
And we bring inspiration to others. So thank you and welcome. So how are you there in the United States? Are you now vaccinated? Is everything back to normal?
I would say at least about 70%. I mean, coming from California, I come from the San Francisco Bay Area. So you can go to restaurants already. You can go to certain places as long as you just observe social distancing.
Okay.
I attended a reunion with the side of my my husband, and it was my first time to take a flight back home from from
really
bravery, so courage. So I thought, what on earth was I thinking? But the plane was just 50%. It was very smooth and lots of prayers inside because I said, Lord, I think the same air.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think kaya ko pa. I think I have to be like, extra careful pa rin. Because we don't know the virus, right? I mean,
we don't know. I know. I was so brave. In fact, the following day, I know I was feeling a little bit off, and then I took my temperature. It was like it was swinging from 99.5 to 99.8. I said,
Oh my
okay,
God.
wait a minute. I know I'm like
That's
I,
right.
I started drinking so much water, had tea, and I said, okay, wait a minute. I'm not going to react. I'm just going to pray this away and say, Lord, this cannot happen. I have a show soon. After 2 days, I'm fine. So I said, okay, thank you. Answered prayer. It was just, false alarm, and we're all good. And everything's back to normal.
You'll never know. I think we just have to like sort of like pivot and just like you, I know you have an upcoming concert which we're gonna be talking about later.
Okay.
Very very excited to know about that because my gosh, ilang pelikula ang aming pinapanood para madanig lang namin yung mga songs mo na talagang maiiyak ka sa character, maiiyak ka kasama yung music. 'Di ba? Ganun yun. So question.
That's true.
That's right. When you look back in all those years, when original Filipino music or the OPM ruled the local music industry, what are some of your fondest memories? I mean, how is it like different from now and then?
Well, I would say, kasi the golden era, I think, really began, I would say, in the 70s. And then coming from a place where you're an unknown, I didn't even know, Miss Marites, that I was going to enter the industry. So, I really, when I got discovered, and then eventually managed by my first manager, si Donong Pedero, who also took under his wings Lea Navarro and Marites Vermont, produced for the likes of Leo Valdez, Jinkilia Manzares, and then he had a group called Gentle Rain na kasama niya si Anthony Costello. So one of, I think there are 4 in that group. So seeing them and seeing, coming from where you're also from a fan mentality, right? From a fan existence where you're seeing them singing all their wonderful songs. And then eventually the decade later that you were going to be a part of it, it's so humbling. It's such a big privilege. And the songs that we were being given to record are some of just the most beautiful
Wow.
Said 70s, 80s, 90s. That's probably 3 decades of amazing music. Music. Now, I would also say, like from the 2000s and the current, I think OPM is evolving because we have a global audience. So there's a lot of things that is being now added into the music. The generation of today is adding a new flavor to it. But the 70s, 80s, and 90s will always be known as those yung heart. It's a lot of heart. It's a lot. I'm just very grateful. I mean, part of the heart decades.
Very, di ba kasi parang it's a story eh. I mean, every song that you do and you sing and, and any other artist, there's always a story behind it,
There is.
There is a story. You just cannot make and create a lyrics and even the emotions that goes with it. So, talagang hats off kami sa'yo. Talagang super hats off kami
Oh my God, not me. I share it with my colleagues. I am just really blessed. I'm very blessed that I was given a lot of good songs. My first company was Vicor Music Corporation. My next company was Octo Arts EMI International. And I was just really, really blessed to be, again, part of those 2 decades where you're given songs by such wonderful composers, and noon, imagine mo the way your audience and your listeners are so involved because they have to physically buy a 45, right? Di ba single pa noon? They have to save their money. They have to buy the 45. They have to save their money. They have to buy a long playing album. They have to listen to the radio. They have to go and watch in the mall shows if they cannot go and watch in a concert venue. So the dedication of the listeners and the audience before is really mind-blowing. They go, they go, they write you. I had a lot of fan mail talaga before, you and then you try to write each one of them. When you're in an interview like this, they're painstakingly trying to make calls kasi hindi pa tayo ganito. They can just chat in. They have to call in. They have to call in and all that. The kind of love that they pour into just being your supporter is amazing. So the relationship with the audience is deep. The relationship with the audience is just amazing. And then now it has become easier. It has become easier because now they can chat, they can just send you email, they can go
Yes, and the reach as well. The reach is now global, right?
Yes, it's global. That's true. So
Wow, it's amazing, huh? So it's really you've seen the changes and the format on how things has evolved from then and now. I mean, is it true? Sometimes they said that an artist is born, not made. Is it the case of the singer? Or can one become a singer because you have to practice, or you really, is someone can really be born as a singer, or can you also made one?
there would be I think there would be two schools of thought. I hope I'm going to be okay.
Please, please. This is your show.
I know. I feel that I think there might be two schools of thought in terms of that, because there are artists that they're just born with it. They have it. I might. I mean, I don't want to sound like, what is this? You're talking about that you're probably one of them. But me, genetically, that's my roots, because my grandmother belonged to the golden era of film. She was in Premier Productions, LVN Productions, Sampaguita. She started in vaudeville with the likes of Dolphy and Kuya Herman Moreno, Kuya Germs.
Wow.
So she was older with them. She was with Pugo and Tugo. She's already two generations ahead of me, who's an artist. She was a singer. She was a voice talent. She was a stage actress. She was a film actress. And then my mom could also sing, but she pursued her corporate life instead. Then it happened to me without even, I wasn't really expecting to enter the industry.
Yeah.
Nothing. It just happened also. It's like it happened. I started, even if I started composing earlier, I only started singing later in life. I discovered it when I was already about 17. Yeah, 16 or 17. I would always compose. I would always put somebody else in front of me, but I will never be the one to go in front. So I didn't expect. It was unexpected, but it was a beautiful, beautiful surprise that happened. And I'm just so glad that my entire family was supportive of it. Maybe because my grandmother already started it.
Yeah.
Like,
parang,
what are we going to do? I got the choice.
That's right. So mga kaibigan, to those of you who have questions, so please write down your questions. And then there's a question here, Miss Joanne. It says something like, they read somewhere that you started composing at the age of 8. So young. So tell us, where would someone that young draw inspirations for her music?
I think that's where the genetic line, the genetics come in. Because, now, one of my guests in my show is my pamangkin, the daughter of my sister. And my sister was my manager for 8 years, right after Nonong Pidero. But now she's completely an improvement of the generation, a complete improvement of the race. She doesn't only sing. She composes. She started composing when she was like, I think, 5 years old. She plays the piano. She's a great arranger. So I think there's really something that's in it. Like in my case, I just started composing at 8. Whatever you see, you write something about nature. You write something about your best friend. You write something about your pet. You write something about your parents. Those were the topics of my 8-year-old mind. And I'm not kidding. I had a guitar. I even forced my mom to approve that I wanted to take guitar lessons. But I started, playing the guitar like 9 or 10, and the guitar was bigger than me. So
I can
imagine trying to like play, and it's just in you. And I think even the Lorenzanas, the father side. So both my mother's side and the father's side already had, music influences. So even my father, all of them, I mean, most of them, or I think all of them could play the piano. I have cousins who are also artists. So it's like, it's in the genes, eh? And the composing, it's almost like, I don't know, it just happened, eh? It you get inspired by, like you said, if you're very young, what can you write? Of course, I wasn't writing about love and all that. I was writing about nature. I was writing about
I
my
see. Yeah.
relationship with my parents, relationship with your siblings, your classmates, something that happened in school. And I had a notebook with transfer from our first house to our second house, and we moved from Caloocan to Cainta, Rizal. I lost my notebook from.
Oh my gosh, with all your.
With all my compositions, when I was young. I know.
Oh my God.
God, what I would do to have that, because I just want to look like what I have are already from high school. In fact, we had a musical play in I studied in Marinol High School, and I would compose, and then we had this inter-class competition for our Noli Me Tangere or El Filibusterismo, and we had to write some songs. I wrote one, and some of my classmates still know the song. I mean, of course I didn't record it when I became a singer, but some of them even remember the song. You're telling me, why don't you record that song? And the title is Tulad ng Isang Kandila. I mean, you're like, how old are you? Like 14 years old, and you're writing about life. Life is like a candle. I'm not kidding. The title is Tulad ng Isang Kandila. So, you can write about these things and surprise yourself about the depths that sometimes you write about. And I'm sure a lot of composers can draw from that, and they can identify. I'm sure that they know that when it just happens, when you get inspired about something, you just need to
It
grab
just
your
comes
pen. No, you
naturally.
just have to grab your phone. It's
Yeah.
very easy. Just
But
grab.
would you say it also comes naturally? Because some people, even though say they write, sometimes even to the part of like the readers, they would know it that this is a composition which is like somebody talagang, really somebody that has like, poured their heart in it. There's so much emotions to it. And there could be somebody who could be writing something na, masyadong, tapos sasabayan pa ng ibang, the melody around it. So parang hindi talaga siya nagki-click. So I guess you guys are gifted. You are just gifted.
Oh, but Marites, there are many more who are more gifted than me, because we have amazing composers in the Philippines. We have the likes of Benny Saturno. We have Jimmy Borja, who I'm just fortunate I work with and collaborate with a lot. We have so many composers. Doji Simon, who was the one who wrote Kung Alam Mo Lang and has written other hit songs for other artists. I mean, ang dami nating magagaling na composers that, I mean, I wouldn't even, dare to be at their level. I'm just grateful when I'm able to collaborate or write with them. It's already just wonderful to be able to do that. But hats off, I'm not worthy. Style.
You are. In fact, may I please request, and of course, doon sa ating mga nanonood ngayon, in fact, sabi nga dito, ma'am, pwede bang pasample naman dyan ng Kung Alam Mo Lang? I think before magpasample si Miss Joanne sa atin, I believe you already made kwento during our shows kay Sunny, how the Kung Alam Mo Lang music came about the song. At least
now we're gonna talk about it again.
Can you please tell us something, and then before we're gonna go for a break, after then, but before we go on a break, can we please hear something about what made the song just super duper popular, and then siguro a little bit of sample naman from the lines of that.
Oh, of course. Even when I speak with the composer himself, it's Doji Simon. I think he probably is also as surprised. That is his song. I'm just fortunate that I was given the opportunity to sing it by Vicor, to be part of my maiden album. But may have really clicked and really may have touched a lot of hearts. And
it did.
Alam mo naman yung love na, you can't have it. You can't have it, right? Because the the story of the song is I am in love with somebody and this somebody is in love with somebody else. Making so many people. Diba? Talagang soap opera, no?
But was it your life then when you were about to sing the song, or is it somebody else's life?
Well, like I said during the interview with Sunny, I don't know why, the universe, I don't know why that particular time that I was recording it, I could really identify with the song because my heart was for somebody, right? And I thought it was reciprocal, or that's what I was. Naku, sandali. I'm gonna But, it's like, you like this person, but the person likes somebody else, something like that. And it just so happens that at that particular time, that time that I was supposed to record it, it was very real. It was very real to me, and there was no way that I could postpone or move the schedule because, you're in a tight schedule. You have to finish the album. Every recording company has a group of artists, and they have to schedule that. So there's no way that you can work around the schedule. You have to show up. So when I got to and I was practicing the song, I said, "Oh my goodness, I'm really gonna have trouble recording this because it's my story that particular time." So I had to warn the engineer, and I said, I really had my tissue, and I said, this is a tough song for me to sing. Now, in particular,
I have to rest. Ganun ba yun?
Ay, naku, mapapainom ako ng tubig sandali.
Oh my gosh.
I just told you that I know, I'm sweating. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I said, we may have to do, we might have to pause, during the recording. And he said, how come? Because this song is like, it's really touching my heart now. So I would, record a part and try to sing the whole song, and then maybe pause one or two parts. And then I said, just a sec. And then I would get a tissue. I would go move, to the side, and I would, shed some tears and then cry and blow my nose. And then he's wondering, Miss Joanne, are you sure you're going to be okay? Are you going to be able to finish this song? I said, no, we have to finish the song today. I remember telling him, yes. I think it was still in cinema audio in the Philippines. And I said, no, we have to finish the song. I have to be able to finish it now. There's no other time and place for this. So maybe it really got captured. The rawness of your feelings, the experience just really went to the surface. The depth of the lyrics of Doji Simon just really touched my heart. And
wow.
And then that happened magically when it got released. It was already my third single. So I'm just really blessed that my first two songs before that, I'll Never Let You Go, they became number one hits. So sometimes when you have songs, you're always like wondering if, you hope that it also becomes a hit, that it's going to touch a lot of listeners and audiences.
But hey, even at this stage, even here, and it's global. So when I was just preparing for this show and I was putting on my makeup, I was like listening to the OPM with your album on it. And it's like amazing. Like, it's like, I Never Let You Go at that time, when we were like so young and so in love and, we're hoping for the universe and the two of us will be together. All these things like, my God, nakaka-touch talaga.
So blessed
Sample
talaga.
naman daw, sabi dito ng ating mga manonood. Pwede bang mag-sample naman before we go for a break because somebody is going to give you a very, very special greeting.
Oh, really? Oh my God!
Natin mamaya. Sige, so a small sample ng mga any of your favorite. I'm sure they are all your favorite songs. A short sample.
Well, I'm sure they know I'll never let you go, no, because the refrain is always you to me are like a melody from which a symphony bursts into ecstasy. You and me, all of us meant to be. I'll never let you go. Tapos syempre, kung alam mo lang naman is
syempre.
Ano'y nangarap ang puso ko sa'yo binigay ang pangakong ikaw ang mamahalin sa bawat sandaling paghinga't pagtibok ng puso. Ngunit gaya ng sang pangarap lang nagising sa katotohanan na ika'y sa kanya. Ayun na. At ako.
Oh my gosh! Wonderful! Fabulous!
Nabigo ang puso. Di ba pagdating sa refrain, kung alam mo lang ang pinangarap, kung alam mo lang na ikaw lang ang tanging ligaya sa buhay, pag-ibig kong tunay, pangarap sa bawat sandali. Ikaw ang umagang dala ay pag-asang liwanag sa bawat bighati. Talagang
oh my gosh, fabulous! Oh my gosh!
Ano? Marites, of course.
Mga kaibigan, nakaupo pa yan siya ha. Wala pang practice yan. Oh my God.
It's my pleasure. And you can hear the songs. I think when you say, these wonderful composers who have become friends, one of them is my manager, they give you this wonderful and best songs. It is impossible not to put your heart and soul when you sing it. The way they create the lyrics is something that you have to draw deep.
Yes.
Every time you sing, and whether hindi ka nakatulog or umaga or whatever, anytime then you sing it, you have to draw deep because it's so much, it's so full. Their lyrics are so full. So yeah, I'm just grateful to them. Nonong and Doji, hello, and my other composers.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Joanne. And then we're gonna pause for a very, very short break, and then we're going to play a certain greetings to you, which is actually very, very special to you. And then, mga kaibigan, don't go away. We're just gonna play this.
Hey, Joanne, Martin here. I just wanted to greet you a very happy 35th anniversary. You still look like you're just starting out. I remember when we were both starting together, how we were both dreaming together, struggling together, and wondering how and where we would end up one day. And look, here we are. Me greeting you 35 years in the business. You have blessed us with your music, with your charm, with your beauty, with your grace, with your songs. Please keep the songs coming. Don't stop singing, and know that you are a blessing to all of us in this industry. Joanne, happy 35th anniversary. God bless you. I love you.
Let
mga kaibigan, can you imagine Martin Rivera? Oh my God, that was amazing. That is very sweet of you.
Marites, you will be, oh, I'm so surprised. I mean, we've been putting it already on my YouTube. The support of really industry colleagues. I've already been saying this just lately that I feel like a musical prodigal daughter. That is how I that is how I feel because I always since I migrated in 2005 here in the States, no, I made a personal vow to perform at least every 5 years. So my last I was very active from my official launch was 1986, but I started performing already 1985. So 85 to 2005, that for a full 20 years, I was like really performing. When I moved here, of course, my life changed and all that. I just made a vow, okay, every 5 years, at least I would perform. So in fact, if we didn't have the pandemic, I was already thinking of doing a concert last year for like maybe November 2020, just to keep in step because I had 2005 at the Hyatt in Manila. 2010, we launched an album first here in the US, and then it was released, distributed by Universal Records. It's called Between Seasons. So I had a show at Dusit Thani Hotel. And then 2015 here, I had a show at the Conservatory of Jazz here in Northern California in Berkeley. So it's called the Jazz School. So we were thinking 2020, and then of course the pandemic hit. So parang ngayon, parang Olympics.
This is it.
21.
So yeah, pandemic or no pandemic, the show goes on,
The show
right?
goes on. But because of all these, things that are happening, the support of the industry, I'm hoping that maybe I will be doing it more regularly. But just the greetings, me and my team, with my sister, we tried to reach out to some of her fans, and I just said, I'm celebrating my 35th anniversary. Maybe I can ask for some greetings, and it started pouring in. I should thank one of my BFFs. He was my co-artist under the management of my sister. A special shout out to Carlo Orosa because he helped me reach out to Martin because I said, Martin is really my personal favorite and my husband's favorite Filipino performer. So he's watched Martin twice here because I have to drag him to watch the show. I said, I want to watch Martin Rivera. So Carlos surprised me with this. But even the other artists, I'm getting, I have greetings even from Lea Salonga, from Mitch Valdez, and from our former OPM president is Mitch, and Celeste Legaspi, and
and even Sono Boyabunda, our good friend Tito Boy.
Yes, Boy's message. Oh my God! Every time I watch it, it makes me cry because you're young, you enter the industry, and you just want to make a mark, and you do your part. You share your songs, you pour out your heart, soul, mind, and body into what you do. And then to hear it several years later that you created an impact, ay nako, Marites, may iyak ako.
Which mga kaibigan, this early, pag-usapan na natin yan, show mo na yan. Because mga kaibigan, this is so exciting. So tell us about your show. This is happening. We're flashing.
Yes, it's August 13. It's August 13. It's 8:30 p.m. West Coast here in the US, and that will be, it's a little late in the East Coast, but it's going to be 11:30. In the Philippines, though, it's at 11:30 a.m., which makes it 1:30 in Sydney, Australia. But the following day, so technically in the Philippines, it's just all of August 14 because you get to watch it streamed as live. It's already a music special, but it's going to go on air. Like you have to watch it from 8:30 p.m. to about 10:15 to 10:30 p.m. here, and then 11:30 a.m. to about 11:15, 11:30 in Manila. But you have a watch on demand worldwide streaming that happens, favoring the time in the Philippines at 8:30 p.m. until 1 a.m. So you can look at time zones. Yeah, it's like you can stop, you can rewind, you can fast forward. In UK, Monday, it's going to be 1:30 p.m. to about 6 p.m. And within that window, you can watch that and watch it like watch on demand. Central Europe, it's going to be from 2:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then East Coast, New York, East Coast, U.S. and Canada, it's from 8:30 a.m. to about 1 p.m. So there are it's like a 5-hour window in different time zones. So
Different
sana
times.
po
So you
lahat
covered
mga kababayan
everything.
natin can watch.
You cover the world. You conquer the world. Mga kaibigan, wag niyong kalimutan because it's very easy. You can get your tickets via ktx.ph.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then remember, it's only on those 2 dates, August 13 and 14. So
Yes.
be mindful on the time over there because yun, napaka-importante ng oras.
And as we draw closer to the show, we're going to post it on my Facebook personal timeline, on my Facebook music page, on my YouTube page, so that we're gonna flash the time zone, so that different time zones, different cities will know the worldwide streaming time period for every area para hindi nila ma-miss. And of course, Ms. Marites, I'm going to be joined by Mr. June Polistico, who's the Frank Sinatra of the Philippines. No, he was my co-artist with my last manager before, and then of course the king of OPM, Mr. Augie Alcacid. We all go a long way. We've been together from the very beginning, and then I joined his management company under Premier Productions and Leo Dominguez. So mahaba rin ang pinagsamahan namin ni Augie. I'm going to be joined by the Quarentados Choir. They're a frontliners of first responders, medical field researchers and scientists who are in the choir. And then my niece is from Canada, Kylie Lorenzana from the church. So we've been
we will not miss it
for weeks. We hope that you guys can really watch us.
I will not miss it. Nakakalendaryo naman sa akin. Oy, sandali. Meron ditong question. Some time ago, take us back at the time when you did the front act for international performers like Gloria Estefan, Menudo, oh my gosh, and others.
A UK group.
Yeah. So how does it feel to be like sharing the stage with this international artists?
You know, Miss Marites, I tell you, I cannot overemphasize really when the Lord moves and just carves out things, in your life. I was a young, 17-year-old, 18-year-old who got into, recording jingles. And then next thing you know, you're already recording your first single also because of my first manager. And then things opened up. You're with Vicor. Next thing you know, you're signed up with Pepsi, with this other incredibly talented artists who later are going to be also contributing to a decade. That's Raymond Lauchenko. You have Timmy Cruz, Kino, Gino Padilla. They're the ones I was with in Pepsi.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, you find out, you're just going to be front acting for Shack Attack. I have a wonderful memory front acting for Gloria Estefan because we were on stage at the Folk Arts Theater, no? And of course it's her, it's Gloria Estefan, the machine. And so you're like, I'm so starstruck, and then you're on stage. I mean, I'm just looking at her. I don't know when I'm going to start because it's her. So it's just amazing. And then Menudo, of course, they're young. So Pepsi girls, including Lea Salonga, to be part of that. It was fun because they're also young and they're a young group. So it was just fun to be able to experience it, and it will be some of the best memories, really. I mean, in anybody's life, and I would really recommend it, for all the artists in the Philippines or the managers to to give that opportunity for your artists to experience it, because they're stuck it in their hearts forever. It's something that you will really look back and say, wow, what a wonderful experience that you were given. What a wonderful opportunity to really. And after that, the shows that you would be doing is you'll be sharing more with them. I mean, in my case, I had an opportunity to guest in the show of Jack Jones when he did one in the Philippines.
Oh,
So
wow.
I look forward to more in the future. I
Yeah.
have a wish list that I hope I still get to
Why
perform.
not? Why
Maybe
not?
with David Pomeranz. Any mga dream list ko?
Yeah. Alam mo,
Maybe.
I'll give you a feng shui tip because you're born in the year of the horse. What you
Yes.
have to do is locate the horse, locate the south corner of your, kunyari, living room or your house.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, you hang your, trophies there or mga awards. You can hang your photos there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you put the photos of those artists that you would like to work with.
Oh my
That's
God.
how you can enhance the south corner of your home because the south corner is for fame and popularity.
Oh, really?
And you are the horse. The horse is very, very good luck this year. And even next year, you have a very good luck.
Oh my gosh,
Congratulations.
thank
In fact,
you.
yes.
Oh my Lord, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be transferred kasi nakapatong din yun.
Yeah. You
So,
just locate the south corner, and I'm telling you, it really like works wonder. And
oh my
then
goodness, okay.
because what happens is that because your timing now, the lack of the horse is very good, and then you're going to enhance that. In fact, if you can do it before the show, before your big day, it would be nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my
You know the
husband is
artwork
working
that you
here.
have?
Okay. We're gonna make a nice area here in the house and put the photos of these people I
Yeah.
want to perform with.
I'm
Yes,
telling
oh my
you,
goodness.
I'm gonna send you, I'm gonna email you some tips as well on how to do that because it's just really gonna work wonder. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
question, I'm just curious because here in the UK, I also like, I have some encounters with European people and how they make their events and everything. I do find that it's easier to please the foreigners when you make do an event or even talks than the Filipinos.
Mhm.
Would you say that's also your experience? Na parang Filipinos sometimes, medyo mahirap natin silang i-please, but if it's like the foreigners, even if you go to like even some events, tayo talagang nakaayos, nakapastora,
That's true.
you know,
That's true.
Di ba?
Mhm.
But foreigners, they are even like much simpler. What's
They're
your
simpler.
experience? I'm curious.
I think if in the maybe that long stretch of my career before, I'm really, really grateful, Marites, because I only had probably a few occasions where I would have, I felt that it was difficult to please the crowd. Maybe because nauna yung mga kanta ko.
Oo nga, ano?
That's another tip, okay? That's another tip. That's
Exactly.
another tip to the young artists. Churn a lot of hit songs. That's very important because when you have a lot of songs that they know, they
Yeah.
hear pa lang the beginning.
Yeah. Oo.
Yan na. Kahit saan ka pumunta. Punta ka ng Iloilo, the Philippines, Cebu, Zamboanga,
Exactly.
whatever. Ay, pati ako nangingilabot. It's because
You're
I
so
remember
right.
my fans, because they just hear the first few bars of the songs.
And that's it.
Gumagano na sila. They're so excited. But in the with foreigners, and then you're singing standards, you're singing their songs.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, when they express it, they clap or they stand. That's
Yes.
amazing. That's
Yes,
amazing.
that's right, no? They really are, no.
Standing
They
ovation.
really, yes. Mm-mm.
It really happened so much with the foreigners. I mean, that floored me when the first time I was like performing already in Guam, in other countries, and then they would just stand up. Parang, wow. I mean, I sing Bayan ko a lot because it's one of my staple songs. It's part of,
Yeah.
part of my album. But then you bring it to another country, and then the way they respond is really so amazing. So that's very touching. And then
Mm.
they will not hesitate. The Americans, they're gonna scream, or they're gonna shout, or they're gonna say, "That's so wonderful," from the back, from the back of the, of the sing it, girl. I mean, they just gonna say that. That's so wonderful. You're great. I mean, right? They're just gonna express whatever they feel. I mean, it's good. I'm just also fortunate with a Filipino audience, and like I said, I would really attest that to the composers who gave me such wonderful songs. That you have this pocket, you have this pocket of your gold songs, that you can
Yes.
give to your crowd, and wherever they are. I always say now, nasanay na ako sabihin, saan man lupalop kayo ng mundo. Because when you go there, and then
Yeah,
you
they know
sing,
Filipinos,
and they
no?
know this song, ay naku, makikita mo lang
Yeah,
ako.
it's 35 years. Mga kaibigan, 35 years. Oo.
They cry
We'll
when
never
you
forget.
sing. Yes, they do. Alam mo, yung mga shows namin, I've had shows with Randy, Santiago, and at the Queen Elizabeth Stadium in Hong Kong, or with I've had shows in Sentosa in Singapore, or in different places. And nako, andun yung ating mga Filipinos natin, mga kababayan.
Yes.
Once they hear the songs, whether it's fast or it's malungkot, they're crying. They're
Exactly.
crying because they've heard the
I
song.
would.
Ay, naku, nakakatuwa. Saka ako, I've not performed it in UK. I've not performed it in Europe. That's also part of my wish
You're
list.
very much welcome.
Oh my gosh.
When you're ready, tell us. We are going to be supporting you.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
hopefully, di ba? Sana matapos na yung pandemic natin. Uy, sandali. For those who may not know, Joanne is actually a University of the Philippines graduate and has a day job as marketing and communications specialist, career in the United States. Tell us, Joanne, before we go off on air, tell us about, what does this job entails for you?
Well, my course in UP was speech and drama. My major was speech communications. My minor was French. Okay, but my mom was telling me, because I started with European languages. I actually I transferred. I was in Maryknoll. I was taking international studies, and I wanted to take also French. No, so but some of my best friends then wanted to move to UP. Alam mo naman yan, peer pressure. Ako na, sige, I want to move to UP also. So we all moved to UP and then all got different courses. But I was starting to sing already when I was my first year. I said, I need to take a course where I could apply it already as a singer. So I went to speech and drama. But I wanted to still keep my French, no? Sayang naman yung French ko. So
That's right.
kept it as a minor. And then ayun, so when I was already in UP, that's when I already took the course, and I was also able to use it when I switched to corporate, the corporate world. Kasi my dad was okay, he was also very supportive, but he was stricter. He wanted to make sure you finish school. So for him, it's like, okay, you stay in entertainment, but you finish school. So of course, I finished school. In fact, my first job was teaching in UP. I was a lecturer, and I also taught speech.
Oh, wow.
Speech, it's the general course. You have to, those courses that you have to take. Nobody can, you have to take these courses to be able to graduate. So my students will be either from first year or fifth year in engineering or architecture, because they left behind some of their general subjects, right? So that I was teaching it for a year. And then I moved into PR. It was almost automatic for me to get into marketing communications because of my course. My corporate career was in the line of marketing communications and PRs. And then I worked for hotels. I worked for Dusit Hotel Nico. And then my last post was at the Hyatt Regency in Manila. I was her PR manager. And so when that was my last post in Manila. So when I moved here in the States, I wanted to make sure that it would be continuous. Eh, syempre, pag, you're working in the hotel, you have your art director, you have your graphic designer. You're concentrating on the writing, right? You're concentrating on meeting all the guests kasi your PR manager, if your general manager or your your F&B manager cannot meet some of the special guests,
Of
ang
course.
PR manager has to be in
Yes.
front. So I'm the one. So
Same.
lang sila. Some of the guests will be go, come on, there's a Kalesa bar, right? The Kalesa bar is there.
Yeah,
And all
yeah.
the also started there. So I'm gonna say, come on, well, let's go to the Kalesa bar. And then of course I know the band. So the PR manager sometimes chops also with the band. So funny. So our VIP gets, oh, I didn't know that you could sing. Yes, I'm also a singer. So anyway, multiple jobs now.
Yeah.
So when I moved here, I said I wanted to learn graphic design because in the States you have to do a lot of multitasking. Hindi
Of
wala na
course.
akong art director, wala na
Even
akong graphic
Europe, of course, yeah.
right? So
Here.
you have to learn it. So it's just amusing because now you're the one doing it also, and I enjoy. It's also creative. I really like designing. I like really working on artistic stuff. But now you're working with it with the software, with Photoshop
Yes,
and all
which is
that.
easier in a way, though. Yeah.
I really
Wow,
love it. I like
my
I like
gosh.
seeing the ideas of the clients. They have this idea about what they want to see, and then you execute it. Kaya di ba when we're talking about it, ang galing-galing naman ng artist mo, the friends.
Thank
So
you.
sa viewers, sabi nakikita ko yung mga designs ni Miss Marites. Ko, ang ganda-ganda naman yan. Nagkakaroon tuloy ako ng mga ideas.
Yeah. So it's
Beautiful.
really like I think you are really a multifaceted person, and
But I'm not a multitasker, ha? I'm still learning. Remember you were talking about I get invitations or I'm being encouraged and pushed already to start also my own show. All I do is I always can the show. In fact, there's something that we're going to be doing maybe around September already. And
Uh-huh.
we are going to tape everything ahead of time so that when it gets released on air, it's already canned ahead of time. I'm really hats off to people like you who can do all the technology behind it. If I'm going to do that, kawawa naman yung guest ko kasi 30 minutes pa lang, we are just going to look at the technical stuff and find out what we're going to do.
No, I think we have very good team as well. And I think like what you said, nga, when you live in Europe, when you live in the US, there are things that you have to do on your own.
Yes.
And being productive in this pandemic, and whatever you give, your songs, your music, your inspiration to our viewers today, is really something. So from the bottom of my heart, I really, really want to say thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy.
Oh my God, I'm
And
enjoying it every bit.
expect us on your big day. We will be
Oh
there.
my God! Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear kababayans, please, August 13 and 14, ktx.ph. Nako, matutuwa po kayo sa show. Matutuwa po kayo. We promise you.
Yes. Okay. So mga kaibigan, last message from Miss Joanne. August 13 and 14, take it away, Joanne.
So I'd like to invite all of you again, lahat po ko sa inyo, dyan sa London and anywhere in the world po, please join us, Joanne Lorenzana at 35, celebrating for my 35 years in the music industry. And I'm going to be joined by our Frank Sinatra of the Philippines, Mr. June Polistico. I'm going to be joined by the Quarentados Choir, my niece, Kylie Lorenzana Fonashare, at ang nag-iisang king of OPM po, si Mr. Ogie Alcacid. We have been preparing for weeks po for this show. Marami pong OPM, marami pong mga magagandang awitin, and I know it's going to make your heart so full. We just want to share that celebration with you also. I hope to see you sa kung kayo po ay nasa US, it's 8:30 p.m. on August 13. Sa Philippines po, it's August 14 at 11:30 a.m. But also on August 14, anywhere in the world, depending on your time zone, we're going to flash it a lot from my Facebook page, that's Joanne Lorenzana plus friends, or my YouTube page, that's Joanne Lorenzana Music, Life, and More. You can just go there because we're going to be constantly showing also about the time zones. You can watch it wherever you are and you can join us in the celebration. At para po siyang watch on demand, you can fast forward, you can rewind, you can just enjoy the show. When we hope to see you in your homes, to see you all in your homes. Maraming salamat, Miss Marites, for this time. I really
Thank you so much. I love you, darling. And it's such a honor to have you on the show. And then, ayun, talagang nakaka-inlove talaga. Nakaka-inlove ka, nakaka-inlove yung mga music mo.
Maraming salamat ulit sa mga composers. Virtual hug. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Your wonderful team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yan. So, ayan mga kaibigan, ang saya-saya. Thank you so much for your company. That was Miss Joanne Lorenzana. Don't forget to attend her big day. Nandun po kami mga kaibigan, manunood po kami dito sa London. So mga kaibigan, once again, thank you so much for your company and thank you so much for sharing all our inputs and insights that we give to you for our Fun Fortune and Feng Shui every Monday. So I'll see you on Wednesdays and Fridays as well for our Friga Fashion Friday. I'll see you soon. Bye. Love you.